Musan Kibutsuji, I swear, I'll make you pay. I swear!
If you are an anime fan, or just somebody who has happened to scroll by the anime section on Netflix, then you are already familiar with Demon Slayer, arguably the biggest anime franchise in the last few years. And like many anime that gained notoriety and popularity, a game typically follows suit. And don't worry, as most times, those games end up being quick cash grabs, reskins, or gacha games, but not in the case of Demon Slayer The Hinokami Chronicles. This game is brought to us by Sega and CyberConnect 2, whom are some of the best in the anime video game market. And this is no simple redo of their prior games such as Naruto Shippuden. Instead, this game takes some of the best mechanics of those games and puts a unique Demon Slayer spin on it, although it might not be too different for those who are diehard to the genre. Demon Slayer The Hinokami Chronicles is a faithful retelling of the first season leading up to the movie, but done tastefully for those brand new to the series, and in its faithfulness will either be a breath of fresh air for those avid fans, or it will be really off-putting, as from a story perspective, this game does not offer anything new to its fans. Demon Slayer The Hinokami Chronicles follows Tanjiro, who was just subjected to a life-altering event, coming home one day to find his sister Nezuko turned into a demon by his sworn enemy Kibutsuji. Thankfully, unlike other demons who feed and prey on humans, Nezuko seems to be unique and a one-of-a-kind demon. This is great news, and finding a cure is going to be one of the driving forces that gets Tanjiro to join the Demon Corps, and to do this, to not only find a cure for his sister, but to also get revenge on Kibutsuji for killing his family. And this is going to play the main narrative that will lead us on to story missions alike as we progress through Tanjiro's adventure, and it ends up being a top-tier level of storytelling. But again, this is mostly because the game is a retelling of one of the best anime out there. So, okay, you're here. Let's get the elephant out of the room and get it out the way. Demon Slayer The Hinokami Chronicles released nearly a year ago and is now barely making its appearance on the Switch. Many people jumping into the Switch version may not be here for the first time, kind of like myself, whom I played on the PlayStation 5 last year. So how does the Nintendo Switch version fare against its bigger console brothers? Well, I am pleased to say extremely well. The people over at CyberConnect 2 are absolute wizards, and although it's been nearly a year, the port of Demon Slayer is near flawless. I can definitely tell that the game does run at 30 frames per second, but since outside of battle, Tanjiro runs about as fast as my grandma, it's hardly noticeable at all. And in my hours playing the game, it has never dipped in frames, even when battles get intense during boss battles where you are more likely to see that happen. And they are obviously going to be throwing more than your average grunt at you, so this is an amazing feat for CyberConnect 2 on the Switch. This is an absolute beautiful port, and you will not be missing out by playing this version on the Nintendo Switch. So what is the gameplay of Hinokami Chronicles? Well, like I said at the beginning, this is a faithful retelling of the story beats of Season 1, so your mileage may vary. For me, my experience was a bit soured as I knew everything that was going to occur. So during my time with the game, there was zero surprises, but at the same time, for someone new to the game who maybe prefers gaming over watching a show or anime, this is an amazing way to experience the world and narrative of Demon Slayer. The game will also have you adventuring through familiar locales of Demon Slayer, the world, and it will have you talking to NPCs, gathering items, and completing subquests on your way to knock down your main objective, the big boss at the end of each chapter. By pulling up the map during these chapters, you're going to find that you can see absolutely everything that you need to do or explore, and it'll be crystal clear. So unfortunately, there are no surprises when you are exploring, but the good thing is you can find everything that you will need to unlock, which will include memory fragments as well as currency to unlock rewards, which are typically photos and things that I kind of found unnecessary to the core experience and ended up being more of a distraction than anything else. But good news is if you want to just completely ignore this altogether, you can. Now for the gameplay itself as well as the battle mechanics, which are very action-based, combat-oriented, nothing is too complex and is very similar to a arena brawler that is very easy to grasp. And you can get your mind around this and master it pretty quickly. This can both be a good thing and a bad thing, as it is so easy that you can see all the cool moves and combos for every character you control, but the bad is that it gets boring as you mow through a bunch of nobody demons till you get to the main boss battles of the chapter of that game. And the rewards for all your hard work are really just the end of the chapter as opposed to you getting all the way up to the chapter. But on your way there, you are able to see all the cool things and live, breathe, and explore the world of Demon Slayer. So some could say that that is your ultimate reward right there. Overall, the combos, the flashy moves, and the quick time events, along with the amazing voice acting in Japanese or English, whichever you prefer, the sweet storytelling that follows the events of the main game, are all what make this game worth it to any anime fan and a must-buy for fans of Demon Slayer alike. But at the end of the tunnel, this is around a 5 to 8 hour experience that can end up being a very one-note, one-and-done experience that you are sure to remember as making you feel like a total badass is definitely accomplished during your playthrough. The Hinokami Chronicles doesn't bring anything new to the table, and that is really its biggest downfall. It would have been nice to see a side story or something unique that you can only get while playing this game. That would have been a breath of fresh air, and it would have breathed a lot of value to the game. And the series and the combat and the battle system being a bit more complex as well would have made this more interesting, along with maybe making the enemies have more variety instead of saving all the goodness for the bosses at the end of the chapter of the game. This would have increased the value overall of the game because it is a $60 game. Over here at The Game Looters, we are giving Demon Slayer, The Hinokami Chronicles, an 8 out of 10 and saying this is a must-play for any anime fan. Thank you guys for listening to the review. Make sure you guys drop a like before you guys leave, drop a comment, and subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you on the next video.